Hey guys, so as you can see, it's time for another product review. It's been a while since I did any kind of uh, looking at different fixtures and things like that, but you know, our ministry here is growing. You've seen some of the videos I've done with flame effects and strobes. Now we have a fog machine, so I've officially changed the name of the ministry from ALF Lighting to ALF Lighting and Special Effects. And we're just kind of in charge of both of those. Usually you see them paired up anyway. So we're just going to go ahead and absorb that group. And so this is a fog machine. It's nothing crazy. We got this from Party City. So it's yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's ain't much to talk about, but yeah. So let's look at some of the features here on the box. It comes with a transceiver, well, a receiver, I should say, and that plugs into the fixture, the unit. This is the remote. Okay, this is the actual remote. As you can see, a comparison. So, number one, you can lose this very easily. Now, we got this back in July. And it's the beginning of August now as I record this. And yeah, we got this in July and we used this for our vacation Bible school. And that whole week I was like scared to lose this. I would put it in my pocket, but then remember that it was in my pocket. It's such a little guy and everything. So if you get something like this, just be careful. It comes with fog liquid, although it says yeah, so comes with some fog liquid, nothing crazy. So we're not rolling with like dry ice or liquid nitrogen or whatever. And the unit itself, I mean, obviously you see the box. The unit itself is small. So one of the things that you want to do is you want to make sure that you're using it in a ventilated area or a large space. I mean, this is somewhat of a large space. Now when I played around with this in this room a month ago, we've got a sprinkler system in here. It did not trigger. It didn't trigger anything. So my guess is it's safe to use indoors. Probably not at a high volume. I mean, obviously this isn't gonna put a lot of output, but you probably don't want to use it at a high volume. But it seems like it'll be okay. But obviously you want to be safe. Have have a ventilation current somewhere in the room so that things are picked up and taken. So before we actually use this, let's go ahead and show you some of the features. So like I said, this is the receiver, plugs in to the unit. Okay, you got yourself a fuse and the plug goes into the power main. We know that about life. So this is where the liquid goes into. So you unscrew the cap, and as you can probably see, yeah, so it's pretty full. There's a nice little this here indicator to tell you where the liquid is. As you can see, that's where the liquid is now, and I'll move the unit so you can kind of see the water shake, or I should say the liquid. So you see the liquid shaking. So that's where it is now. You don't want to overfill it, and you got to be careful about that. Now, the thing about the receiver is, as with all fog machines, it needs time to warm up. So this light will glow, and as you can see, it's glowing now, so it's ready to be used. It takes about 5, maybe 10 minutes for it to warm up. And then once it's ready to go, it's ready to go. This is very hot, or at least it gets hot. So you want to be careful about that. Obviously with liquids, you want to make sure, in fact, I'm going to wipe this off, but one of the things that they talked about in the manual, and this goes with just about all types of fog machines, is while you're pouring it, you don't want to get the unit wet, because then you put yourself at risk for shock and things like that. So definitely have to be extremely careful when you're working with fog machines. And especially with the ones that have the liquid. Obviously, the ones that they use ice or dry ice, it kind of, I mean, you still have water in there because the water heats up and melts the ice, but you still want to be careful. So there it is. We're gonna use it now with our remote. As you can see, it's self-explanatory. You got it on and you got it off. And I've had a couple of issues with it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I don't know what's gonna happen right now. But I'm hoping that we'll be able to see the actual fog come out, so you can see. I'm not gonna do it inside of the room. Maybe I will if I move this to the floor. Maybe you can kind of see. But yeah, we'll see. Just a close-up view of what it looks like. Hopefully this will work, because it's giving me problems. Alright, so there you go. Okay, so the fog comes out, and we turn it off with the remote. So alright, let's move it down to the floor now. And I'm going to use both of my hands. Now the thing about this unit is the tank, it's like on one side. So it can easily tilt. You end up tilting the fixture, the unit, while you're moving it, and then it'll leak. So you wanna, when you're carrying it, you wanna use both hands so that you can balance. You can have control of the weight shift, because it's all the water's on this side, and it's really lightweight on this side, so you end up tilting back like that. But let's see if the light is on. And it looks like the light might not be on. That's the thing. You'll have to wait for it to warm back up. Oh, now it's on. You see the difference. Alright, so it's on, so we should be able to use this. And again, it's not a powerful unit. It's not gonna fill up an entire room. They grabbed this for whatever reason, and this is what we have. So we're probably not gonna do anything big. If you've seen my past videos, you've seen how big our stage is. This is obviously not going to be able to take care of that in any kind of dramatic way. But smaller rooms that we have in the building, it could work. But let's go ahead and try to do it again. You see, I mean, it's a nice output, don't get me wrong. But you could probably tell that it's not the ideal thing. So you can see it definitely rises up, clearly. It's not gonna lay low. So if that's what you want, obviously you gotta get what you need. But yeah, that's why we got the ventilation. So you can see it's shifting towards the window. But you can see it's clearly up with the sprinkler. It hasn't really caused any problems so far. So I imagine things will be okay. I've done this plenty of times in this room. Every time I've done it, I get scared that eventually it's going to set off the sprinkler system. So, this could be the day. And you could witness something great, because I'm not going to edit it out. Unless my phone gets damaged, in which case I might lose the video. But, yeah, so that's the fog machine. I'm not really impressed by it. I didn't make this request to get it. This was something that the VBS director wanted to grab, and to have some kind of special effects like that. And so we didn't have a lot of time to do any kind of real research, so that's why we went to Party City and just got a generic little baby. So really cheap. And I will say this liquid has an odor. You can smell things. It's not pretty. Oh Lord have mercy, it's not good. But I store the unit inside of here. A little Sterilite container, I think it is, yeah. And so since it's water and everything, if something leaks, it's easier to clean up with a plastic container like this versus the cardboard box. Things get soaked, plus you can see it's not completely sealed, so things can leak out, damage other things that might be stored under it or whatever. So that would be a recommendation. Once you get this, find a storage unit for it like that, so that way it'll be okay. With the remote, I just clip it onto the actual tube here, and it's hard with one hand. Wow, but you get the idea. It would stay on there, so it stays with the unit, and it's not lost. So that's one of the things I had to learn about dealing with. But I will say this. Now you see the level here, right? And I've only filled it up once, and we used it all week at VBS. So that that's 5 days, and we were using it, and I have not had to fill it. I have not had to refill it, but I have a funnel. I would recommend getting the funnel. I have a funnel that goes inside of the hole here, and then when you pour it, it's safer. Especially since, like I said, you don't want to spill anything onto the unit, and things get, you gotta wait for it to dry and everything like that. So I would be careful with that. But it's got me thinking. I'm not the biggest fan of special effects, to be honest. But in the right setting, they definitely make an impact. So hopefully, our church here can look at making a bigger investment in the fog machine, and we can really make some things happen with that. Because this guy is nice, but he ain't gonna do a lot for us, unless we get more than one of these. If we have several of these, the only problem is, it's by remote, and so that would likely mean we would need however many we have. That's how many people would need to be operating, or one person would be pressing the on button 15 million times. You see I'm pressing it, but it's not ready. The light isn't on. But anyway, it's a cool unit. It's fine. Stinks, but it seems like it doesn't use a lot of fluid, and we have a whole gallon sitting there, so it seems like we won't have to make any kind of purchasing in a while. And one of the things I will say that I'm pushing the church to buy is fog liquid cleaner, or whatever it's called, and that basically keeps the unit clean, clears it of the particles that are inside of the fog liquid. Wow. And so that's something you definitely want to look into when you're buying fog machines, versus hazers and things like that. A fog machine that uses fog liquid, you want to exclusively fog liquid. You want to make sure that you get a cleaner solution as well. I think any kind of cleaner solution should technically work, but you do want to make sure, because there are different types of liquids that can be used. So you got to it's a little bit of research involved, but it's nothing crazy. So those are some tips. If you want to know more about fog machines and how to handle them, let me know. I don't have a problem, telling you. And make sure, as I'm recording this, I've already started my resource mini series where I share all the resources that I have that I use for the ministry. So make sure you check out that. I know only one video is up at the time of this recording, but there's supposed to be at least 4 in the end. So just make sure you check those videos out, and that's another way for you to for you to see what I use and how I do things. And if you need any kind of tips or advice or whatever, I'm more than happy to assist in any way. But yeah, fog machines can be dangerous. So I think out of everything, maybe except lasers, I think when you're dealing with special effects, fog machines are definitely the most dangerous. I think when you look at real life flamethrowers and things like that, they're kind of controlled flames, so it's not too bad. But fog machines are such a large variable of things, and as well as the lasers, looking at lasers and making eye contact with lasers will mess you up, and things like that. So, from a safety standpoint, well-being standpoint, you want to make sure you avoid those, or I should say, you want to make sure that you avoid just diving in. Some people usually have to be certified in order to operate certain things like that, so it comes with the territory. Let's see if we can get one last blow before we leave. Alright, so that is the fog machine, and It actually will stream. It'll actually stream out for about 20 seconds straight before it putters and dies. So that's another thing I forgot to mention. So yeah, I tested that out. Lasts for about 20 seconds before it kind of. So that's the fog machine. All right. Talk to you later.